Yesterday, it was announced that Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant will remain out indefinitely after entering a counseling program in Florida. In a statement, Ja said he needs to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and his overall well-being. This comes after an investigation that took place where Ja Morant flashed a gun on Instagram Live while at a Denver nightclub. Allegations of Morant assaulting a 17-year-old, allegedly threatening a security guard in the mall, and in another incident, his entourage allegedly aimed a red laser at Indiana Pacers staff members, who believed the laser was attached to a gun. With everything that has happened within the last year, many are split between the two sides. Does Ja Morant need therapy, or are people being too harsh on a young black man that needs guidance? Today we have our company hype analysts, Danielle Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling to the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
He was continuously having missteps off the court. I get all that. We've all been 23 once. All of us has made some mistakes. I just hope he gets the help that he needs. I hope he takes as much time as he needs because the game of basketball will be here. But I just hope he comes back as a better man, as a better individual, and the basketball game will take care of itself.
Well, Pierre, since you decided to join me in studio,
this
I'm
one,
super excited. I want your reaction first to this. You know, what's your reaction? Do you think therapy is what Ja Morant needs?
I'm in line with most of the stuff that Shannon said. Well, I mean, he needs something. To be honest, he needs something. In the way the trajectory of things are going with him is not good for the other incidents, and this is the last one so far. Hopefully, no more happens. Like Shannon said, I hope he goes and gets therapy and comes out a better man. Shannon says he hates that it's being put out publicly. Well, the threshold of hiding stuff behind the scenes is over with when the internet came on and people start showing their own stuff. Ja Morant put it out himself on his own page and stuff. So we are in a place where the voyeurism is crazy now. We all want to see what people are doing behind the scenes and stuff. Back in the days, you had the publicists who could hide certain things and stuff.
Right.
Well, we don't want that no more. We want to know, and even the artists want to bring you into their lives. Who was it? Some girl, was it Black China, went to get a breast change. She was in the place talking to the people, her fans about her breast change. So that's past. So we have to understand, and artists have to understand that when you do something, since you want everybody to watch you when you're doing something quote unquote good or whatever the case may be, when you do something bad, the world's gonna see it and they're gonna harp on it and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So ain't no crying about it. You put yourself out there like that, it's gonna be seen. I take these pushes, whatever, online, whatever, because I decided to go and put myself out front and say these things. So I'm expecting some people not to like what I said. But I do love the fact that so many people walk up to me on the street and tell me how much they love me and what I do. Thank you.
Capone, let me bring you in because I know you've been very vocal on the show about, the lifestyle that you once lived and just how you grew up in your circumstances. So I'd love to get your take on this. What's your reaction? And do you think therapy is what Ja Morant needs?
I think he needs his parents, his father. He needs to, his father, I don't know if he considers him to be a friend, but he has a well-rounded father and he needs his father to talk to him. Therapy, I truly think that he don't want to sit on the bench. So sitting on the bench watching the games is not a thing that he does. He's too much, energy. And so for him to go somewhere instead of sitting there with the punishment, that's what I think he's really doing. But I truly believe that, I think that people do need therapy. But if you got a father or somebody to talk to that got some sense in their head, they can do just as great of a job as a therapist can. And I really think that he needs to sit down and have a talk with his father, and his father needs to be a little bit stern. He is 23 years old with a lot of money.
Danielle, let me bring you in. Same question. What's your reaction to the situation? And do you think therapy is what Ja Morant needs?
I think therapy is what he needs. Let's be real here. It's obvious that he's surrounded by people, and the people that he's surrounded with isn't giving him the best advice. And it could be understandable. It's like what Capone alluded to, him being 23 years old. You have a lot of money. We are taught to work hard for money, but we aren't taught how to manage that money and how to behave when we have that money. When you are in Ja Morant's position, the spotlight is on you. So yeah, it might have been cool for a regular 23-year-old to do the things that he's done because, you're growing and you're just trying to understand life, but you're a 23-year-old in the limelight. And people that are around you don't know how to handle the repercussions of fame, and they're not giving you the best advice. So I think therapy is the best thing for him to do to get out some of those thought processes and to rethink and to reprogram, especially the position that he's in right now.
Absolutely. And friends we know have a big influence on the decisions that you make. Now, of course, people online are sounding off on this. They're going crazy in the comments. So I want to read one. And Pierre, I'm going to come back to you. So a user said, if Ja Morant was a white athlete showing off his legally owned gun in an open carry city, this would be a non-story. So I want to come to you, Pierre. Do you think race plays a factor in what we're seeing play out in the media?
Oh, sorry. I kind of heard what you said. Let me tell you something, man. First of all, I don't care if you want to call it race or not race. Too many young black brothers, brown brothers are dying by the hands of the gun. I've seen the videos over and over, and they're dangling the gun in front of everybody. Look like God, look like God. He was emulating the same thing that they do. He had a gun that wasn't legally could carry in that state, so he's breaking the law for that. White boys, I don't know. I haven't seen no athlete doing that. Now, if they have a shotgun and they're going to hunting or something like that, or have guns in their home or something like that, that's something different than out in public in an illegal situation. Is it race? Give me some pictures of some white boys who are doing the same thing, which I'm fine with, in clubs, holding a gun illegally, and then they're not being punished, and I'm going to be the first one to say, no, hell no, why ain't he getting punished?
Right.
Show me those videos. I just don't want to see young black men with holding guns in the video, especially someone like him who isn't really in the streets like that. He shouldn't be in the streets. You know, he's the face of the NBA right now. But the next wave, you know, he's worth $200 million. To make a mistake like or to look like that, what is that encompassing? Just to be saying, hey man, I'm black. I want to show y'all how hood I can be with guns and showing this kind of shit in a nightclub. It's not like he's at home. If he'd been at home doing that, I wouldn't have said nothing. On the backyard, his own backyard doing that, something totally different. But in a nightclub, illegally, come on, man, bro, come on. And sometimes we got to step up and just do some different things. We can't move like the average person, like Danielle said, like the average people around us. We can't. We're not average anymore. When you're making $200 million for your career and you're the face of NBA basketball, the next wave, you cannot. All spotlights on you. And like they were saying, people around them, they're not used to that. Even his parents, he has a mother and father, God bless them, but they're not used to having $200 million. It's a shock in that kind of fame. I get a lot of love, and I ain't even that rich. Okay, shit, I get to be bumped up places and move places. You can imagine what he gets when he's in the public.
Right.
His whole family, and that's a very, like, what do you call it, the intoxicating situation. So that whole family needs to understand, you're about to lose this boy. If he keeps on this, you all going to ain't going to have that $200 million no more. So people need to step up in his life, you know, black or white.
Capone, let me bring you in. Same question. Do you think race plays a factor in this situation, especially what we're seeing play out in the media?
No, I don't think race played it. Hell yes, race played a part in it. Man, listen. The quarterback for the Steelers had a murder charge that he beat. Let's keep it real. Yeah, they shining the light on him. They want to show his ignorance, basically because he has the energy that he has, and he's carrying. He's very flamboyant. And for some reason, they don't like that. When somebody has that much confidence as a black man and does the things he does on court, I think that that gets them a little bit upset. So race, yes, I think it does play a big part of it. Not only that, he's young. I'm not agreeing with the stupid decisions that he's made. I don't think flashing a gun or even carrying a gun in a club is a smart thing to do. The one thing I do agree with Pierre and Danielle is that, you know, you got to have certain people around you. Everybody can't be a yes man. And unfortunately, when you got money, you seem to attract people that always say yes with everything you do, no matter if it's bad or good. And so to answer your question solely hearted, yes, race has to do with it because the media is attacking him every way possible.
So we went from no to yes. All right. Shit.
I was joking with the no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you thought I was agreeing with you.
Not well, you went with, yeah. And also let's he Steelers raped a woman, not murdered her.
Okay.
It was allegedly it was a case of he was accused of sexually assaulting her twice. So allegedly that was the case.
Still a bad crime.
Yeah, still a bad crime. Yeah,
Still a bad crime.
definitely no better.
It didn't get that much action, so I really don't know.
Really? I love it, dude. I love it.
I'm sorry, P.I. I mixed up the story. I'm glad you read and found out that Rossenberger allegedly raped somebody.
Okay, there you go.
Danielle, let me bring you in. I want to get your thoughts on this as well. And this isn't the only comment that I've seen about race being a factor. So I'm interested to know your thoughts. Do you think in this case that race is a factor, especially what we're seeing play out in the media?
Yes, it is. We can't even dance around that fact. Race is a factor. It's like, oh, we see a Black man holding a gun on Instagram Live. So automatically within our mind it's probably unlicensed. It is probably used as a weapon for some type of illegal activity, because that's the things that play inside of our mind. So race is a huge factor, and he doesn't get a pass with the NBA because of the whole privilege situation. We live in a world where people look at things in black and white. Let's be honest with each other. If that was a white basketball player holding that gun, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because it's a Black player who grew up in Memphis, we're having this. And now we're saying that he's a troubled young man. He needs help. He needs to be reined in. So of course, race is a factor. We can't even dance around that. We can't even lie with this. Like, it is what it is.
Well, just show me. Just give me the video of the white boy doing that. Just do that. Don't say if. I want to see it. Just give it to me. Don't just say if. Just give it to me so I can say, okay, I agree with you. But just to say that it would, if a white boy would have done it with a gun in the club doing that, just show
Pierre, you know, if a white guy would have done
it. It's not about if and. Show it to me. Just show it to me so I can say, okay. Don't just say if, maybe, it would be.
I'm going to send you the full subscription of Roots.
Right. Wow.
I do want to throw this fact in really quick. So Ja Morant is actually, I believe he's from South Carolina, which, is from, my state.
Not Memphis.
But Danielle, I completely understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of people in the comments are kind of going back and forth of whether race is a part. So speaking of just having an honest conversation, regardless of if race plays a part or not, like, I feel like that's expected, right? Like, we know when you're Black and you experience something, there's going to be something that's extra pushed on you because you're Black. What is the solution though? Like, how do we know that's a given fact. What's the solution to move forward or to prevent these situations from happening? Pierre, I'll start with you. What's the solution?
One, don't put yourself in the position. Okay, if you don't put yourself in a position, he didn't have to pull that gun out and show it. He didn't have to do it. There was no have to do it. He was doing it trying to show off. So that's the first one. And let's not make excuses. When we do wrong or whoever does wrong, bring it to light and say, man, don't do that again. Don't do that. Opposed to saying, man, they only doing it to you because you're Black. It wasn't white boy. No, just say, no, you don't do that no more, bro. Don't you do that no more. Fucking white boy. Well, forget the white folks. You don't do it no more. Because yes, we don't have the same leniency, if you want to say that, as the whole world goes around with Blacks and whites. We don't. So why put ourselves in that position and say, I want to do wrong and get treated just like him when he does wrong? Why even do wrong? Why even want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes your mama told you that you can't do what them white folks do over there. Don't, especially if it's negative. So why say I want to do that? Don't even fuck with him. I need this, like I said, with this situation, if it's going to be exactly the same, let me see a white boy with a gun in a club doing that and not being said, a star player. You know what I'm saying? Show it to me. And I'll be like, all right, I get it. But if you don't show it to me, you can't say, well, if we would have, okay. Put it in the comments right now. I'm ready. Start off with Pierre so I can read it.
Danielle, let me come back to you. What do you think the solution is, for this situation, and just the solution so that we don't continue to see this happening?
So I just have to say this to Pierre's point about white and Black, and anybody that's wondering. Let's look at a recent sexual assault case that's with a porn star. And I think he's like 80-some or 70-some, and they're saying he has dementia, he doesn't remember. So the court is excusing him on that. And then look at Bill Cosby, who is an older gentleman who couldn't properly defend himself, but we threw the book at him. That's just I'm not defending anybody's innocence here, but I'm just comparing the comparison of white and Black privilege. And in terms of what can be done, I think in the Black community, what we've failed to do is have a conversation on what happens when we get money. That's the conversation that we failed on. Yeah, we have a lot of athletes, we have a lot of superstars, but it's what happens when they get that money. Even in conversations, you'll see that sometimes white artists have way more longevity when it comes to wealth rather than our Black artists. And that's because we're not having proper conversations on how to manage wealth. How do you invest? How do you set up generational funds for your children? And that's because we don't know these things. This is something new to us. Let's be real. This is something new to us when we attain wealth. So I think those conversations need to happen, and also how you carry yourself. And also the fact that I'm going to tell you this. It is okay to drop certain people when you get a couple dollars in your pocket. It is quite fine. If they want to say you switch, if they want to say you on real, that's fine. My money real. I know you want good for me, so let me just step on the side. If you need me, call me. I'll help you out, but we ain't hanging together, because my mindset has now changed, and you ought to put yourself in those rooms with people who are basically on the trajectory path that you want to be in the next 10 years. Don't live for the now when you get a little bit of wealth. You have to look at how it's going to be in the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, and I think Jalen Rose did a great job of speaking to that as well. You know, just talking about sometimes we get so mixed up and wanting to hang around our friends. Like, it's okay to change. If someone say you change, yeah, I did change. Change is inevitable. I'm supposed to change and become better. But Capone, let me come to you. Same question. You know, what's the solution here? Because we know situations happen. We know, as mentioned, situations happen different for us. But what's the solution so that we can prevent this from happening in the future?
I have to regretfully agree with Pierre today.
Don't do that.
I have to agree with him, even though I know the people in the comments is going to tear him apart for that last statement that he made. But I will agree with him. Don't do it. You know, think about you're 23, you might be young, but you could think about things that you're about to do that could be wrong and can, hinder anything that you got going on in life. And that's a very, very strong point. But as Danielle said, and I had to learn this myself, you don't see jealousy or you don't see all of this within your friends that you're around. But when something happens for you, it automatically comes. And even though you start to see it, you try to ignore it. And so the best thing is to break away from people that can't help you. If you put a person in a position and they cannot fill that position, don't try to keep holding on to them. Get somebody who can fill that position. And that's just what life is all about. We always trying to help out our friends when we become successful. And, those people don't really, a lot of them don't mean good. I'm not saying everybody, but it's a lot of them.
So one more question before we close out. So we've seen different athletes in the media. We've seen Vic, we've seen Kyrie Irving recently, and now here's Ja Morant. Do you think people are being too harsh in these situations here?
It could be, but hey, hold on! I just saw this. It says Auburn quarterback Shaun White is arrested for public intoxication. He's a popular player for Auburn, down the Country Boys, and they arrested him for public intoxication. So he has on his arrest record will be on there. He's white. Why would they arrest that white boy like that? Come on, man. We out for black folks only. We're not out for white people.
But Brad Favre stole about how many millions? Nothing happened to him.
We can play that game all day long, okay? Back and forth if you want to. But I'm just telling you what was arrested. So a white boy was arrested. Okay, thank you.
But you said they don't do nothing.
He got arrested. He got arrested. A record is going to be on his record. Arrested. And he's huge, too. A popular white boy. Just because Capone don't watch sports, that don't mean anything. Yeah.
So to the question be here, do you think that people are being too harsh on Ja Morant?
Yes, especially us.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, he's a young brother making mistakes, but let's say it this way. I'm glad he's going to therapy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when he comes out of it, he's a different man, a changed man. Like Shannon Sharp said, please be changed, brother. We are rooting for you, man. Behind the closed doors, black folks are always going to be rooting for a black person. Let's be real, that's how we do. But you can't keep messing up, man. So, hopefully it doesn't happen again. You know, he got away with this one. Whatever the last couple of incidents, he got away. You know, they give him. First of all, he's worth too much money. The NBA ain't gonna kick him out. Okay, he's the face of the NBA. He can damn near kill somebody, and they're gonna find a way to make an excuse to keep him playing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let's be honest. He ain't going nowhere. Unless a black player would have been his ass, but out of it. Somebody on fourth on the death chart would have been out of the league, or something else would happen. But Ja Morant is that, and he's a young man. I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. That's the right steps to take. And it'll quarrel and bring down some of these white folks that think that, you know, he's a savage. Like, he's like, no, I'm going to take care of myself. I made a mistake. I'm going to take care of that. So hopefully it pulls back on a lot of people in the news, media, and us, you know, trying to rip him down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he didn't make a mistake. Let's not forget that. Let's not act like he didn't make a mistake, a couple of mistakes. Let's be this one the last one. We're cheering for you. Maybe he can see the love that we have for him, and he'll say to himself also, man, I can't mess this up, man. I got too many people, not just my family and friends, but the country and black folks cheering for me, hoping for me, you know, to be successful.
Absolutely.
So more power to the brother. I'm a fan. I'm a supporter.
Absolutely. I love that. Capone, same question to you. You know, do you think people are being too harsh on Ja Morant?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't specifically say why, and I don't want to sound dumb, but you always try to keep it from being a black and white thing. But, you know, back in the days, they did the same thing to Allen Iverson. You know, when they can't control you or they want to have some kind of hold on you, this is the type of stuff that they do. And Allen Iverson was somebody that they couldn't control, and they did everything possible to kind of like dissect him until he became controllable, from trading him to the team, from putting him in places he didn't want to be, until they even eventually kicked him out of the league. So this is kind of the same type of thing.
Well, you know, Allen Iverson was a hip. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Capone. Finish it. I thought you were done.
No, it's all right. I want to hear what you got to say.
Allen Iverson did something that nobody else got to do. Do you know he used to go to his press conferences and wear what he wanted to wear? The owner said, he's the only player on my team, his name is Pat, whatever guy, of the Sixers. Let Allen Iverson wear his hip-hop gear in conferences, press conferences after the game. No one else. Everyone's had to wear a shirt and tie. So Allen Iverson got away with doing some stuff that normal people wouldn't get away with. So to say they held him back, come on, son.
They changed it.
What?
They changed it. They made him wear a suit and tie.
No,
that was the problem.
No, he wouldn't wear it. He wouldn't wear it. Okay.
No, they made him do it. They made him do it. You can see videos of him changing. He didn't like it, but they did it.
No, I'm going to fight you on that, bro. No, it didn't. The owner said he's the only one could go back and look at it. He's the only one could wear what he wants.
The coach said that. The coach said that.
The owner said it. Pat, the owner. Man, you don't watch sports.
The league said something different.
All right.
These two, Danielle, let me bring you in to interject here. What do you think? Do you think, you know, what we're seeing, whether it's in the media and in the comments, do you think people are being too harsh on Ja Morant?
I think the world is doing what the world does. We know how the world works. We can afford to say it's harsh or not. The point of the matter is, and I want everybody to understand, I'm not disputing Pierre's point of the fact that white people do have repercussions. I'm not disputing that. What I am saying is there is a privilege that is present in this world, and there are negative connotations that are attached with people of a darker hue tone. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa, say it again. Say it again.
So
say it again for the light-skinned people.
So everything about this situation here literally is what is a prime example of everything being over exaggerated. He's a young man, 23. I'm going to say this again. He's a 23-year-old young man with plenty of money. There are people who are willing to do whatever for him. There are yes men around him, and then he has some of the bad apples around him. It is quite average, and it happens in every culture. The thing is, when it comes to us, we microscope that and we implode that and we stick all of these unjust headlines on persons like that, and we don't give them any grace at all. And I can say something that can be a little controversial. Should I say it?
Say it.
Say it. Say it.
How long are we gonna ridicule Chris Brown for something he did 13 years ago? And we have some white actors that have tested positive for HIV and have not told their partners. We have white entertainers that sexually assault people, but we give them a pass in Hollywood every day. It's just how the world works.
Okay, I guess when you love Chris Brown, you love Chris Brown. Shit, okay. Shit, I mean, it is what it is.
No, but you do see, I know that kind of goes off just a little bit, but we do see where Chris Brown is just continuously being put in the headlines for something that he did, you know, so long ago, which granted, I am not advocating for, you know, men beating on women or anything like that. However, he does get a lot of backlash currently. That's just, it's uncalled for. It's like random. It's like
Exactly. And we extend no grace to him at all.
There's an untold part of that story that nobody seems to talk about. And we'll leave that alone because this ain't about that.
No, but I will say I love what Pierre said, and I do want to close out just on a love note to Ja Morant. You know, you have people supporting you. Yes, you made a mistake. We are hoping that you become better. We hope that therapy really adds to your life. Sometimes you have to take people out your life, and yes, it's going to be difficult. Yes, the streets are going to tell you you're not this anymore, you're not that, and it's okay to no longer be something because it's all about growth and getting better and becoming better. So surround yourself with people that reflect the lifestyle that you need and that your family needs because we love you and we support you. So with all the harsh and all the negativity out there, I just want to send him some good vibes and good energy. So
I like that. Surround yourself with people who get energy and all that and good, make you feel good. I ain't surrounding myself with good people on this goddamn show, okay? These people all hating his ass, nigga.
I think we all love you.
No, you don't. You know, I'm rational, that's all. But I'll be here tomorrow.
And will. Now, before we head out, of course, I'd like to know what you have going on. So, Pierre, you're in the studio with me, which I want to thank you again for coming in the studio. Capone, I'm waiting.
Yeah, come on, Capone.
Danielle,
come on.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. You're gonna wait longer for Danielle, trust me.
You're right,
okay?
yeah, I'm way longer for Danielle.
Okay.
Disrespectful.
Well, you're gonna wait a little longer. The
Pierre,
queen takes a little longer.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Pierre, what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
I appreciate it. Well, I'm in the studio. I'm in here because we're going to shoot some more episodes of Pierre's Panic Room. I got my girl Martin. From Blackish coming through, Jazzy Faye, and you know, a lot of other people coming through. So I'm excited for the filming this week. And that's all. I'm just here for that, man. I'm in Atlanta. I would say pull up, but some of y'all act foolish, so don't pull up, you know. If you pull up, I'm pulling out. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're going to do.
Capone, I'm coming over to you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Well, I'm back at the Apollo tomorrow. And then I get right back on the flight to go to the West Coast to Tommy T's in Pleasanton, California. I'm doing 6 shows out there. Anybody in California in that area, you would want to come see this show. I'm bringing my little guys with me. I'm introducing a new member of Team Capone, this little young wild comedian. I really dig this kid. He's different. This guy named Brandon. Both my guys is Brandon's this weekend. So it's going to be good shows.
Absolutely. Of course.
And you can follow me on Instagram, Comedian Capone. I'm excited. I don't know why. I worked out. I'm ready to go back in the gym. Comedian Capone. If you can't spell comedian, look it up. Sound it out. Do whatever you can, but do not follow me until you can spell it. Comedian Capone. Woo! We here, baby.
I love the energy. Last and certainly not least, we see The View. So I had to leave The View last, Danielle, because it's beautiful. Danielle, what do you have going on out in the Bahamas?
Thank you. First, let me say about all of the persons that I listed, allegedly. It's important that we put that word in this show. Allegedly, if I did not say that, allegedly. So I'm in the Bahamas. I have a Bahamian dish, to showcase.
Ooh.
This is the conch fritter. So I am beachside today at one of the restaurants here. It's a whole vibe. We're in swimsuits in March. I don't know if you guys can do that in Atlanta or, yeah. It's good weather. But what I have coming up is new episodes of Sis right in time for the summer. So you can follow me on my YouTube page. That's Danielle, DENIELLE. You can also follow me on Instagram for more views and things to do in the Bahamas at DEEA Miller. And you can follow me on Facebook at Danielle as well. And Symphony, I will be in Atlanta really, really soon. Really soon. As soon as it warms up.
See you
It's
in
gonna be
July.
a while then. It's gonna be a while because it is cold
July.
here in Atlanta. But no, again, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic and providing different views and really bringing this, bringing this conversation to light because it is, as I always say, a conversation that we need, and I love how we have conversations here. So you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Does Ja Morant need therapy? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in the comments, and hell yeah, you need therapy.
We all need therapy.
He need
Shoot.
less friends. He need less
Everybody.
friends.
You need therapy. You need therapy. Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.